The behavior and conduct of members of the higher judiciary must reaffirm the people's faith in the impartiality of the judiciary. Accordingly, any act of a judge of the Supreme Court or a High Court, whether in official or personal capacity, which erodes the credibility of this perception, has to be avoided. What I just read out is the very first point from a 3-page document. It's called The Restatement of Values of Judicial Life, like a code of conduct guide for judges. In recent times, this document has been cited very often and very frequently by several legal experts, given how judges and even chief justices have invited criticism over their conduct while holding office. The latest instance of what was flagged as a direct violation of the code I just read out was seen 4 days back. On Sunday, a High Court judge grabbed national headlines, not inside the courtroom, but for comments made by him outside. Meet Justice Shekhar Yadav. He's a sitting judge at the Allahabad High Court. Justice Yadav attended an event of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad on Sunday. His communal, prejudicial, and outright hateful remarks in an event organized in the Allahabad High Court premises sparked a stir. From saying things like India will be run by the wishes of the majority, only a Hindu can make India Vishwa Guru, to using derogatory terms for Muslims. We've done a detailed report on all of that previously. You can watch that report on our channel. But what's next? What are the possible actions that can be taken against Justice Yadav? And what does this incident say about our justice system? Hello and welcome. I am Shubham Chohan. Let's get started. Now, Justice Yadav's presence at a VHP event and his comments triggered angry reactions. Senior lawyers, former judges, opposition MPs all condemned these remarks. Many expressed concerns about the direction in which India's judiciary was heading and what it goes to show about our justice system. Reports say the Supreme Court of India has taken cognizance of this matter and called for details from the Allahabad High Court. As it turned out, Justice Yadav's latest remarks weren't one-off. In the past, in one of his orders, Justice Yadav made baseless claims like scientists believe that cows are the only animals that inhale and exhale oxygen. Reportedly, he also claimed of panchgavya, which is made from cow dung, urine, milk curd, and ghee of cows, could cure incurable diseases. Denying bail to a Muslim man accused of cow slaughter, in another order, Justice Yadav also said that cow should be declared as India's national animal. He was quoted saying, "Jab गाय का कल्याण होगा, तभी देश का कल्याण होगा," which translates to, "The nation will prosper when the cow prospers." And yes, we are still talking about a sitting High Court judge here. A judge who is expected to be fair, strictly adhere to constitutional principles, administer justice, and protect the rights of citizens. So what does the law say when it comes to disciplinary action against judges? There are two broad ways here. First is by the judiciary itself. This is something called an in-house procedure. Now, this is a 25-year-old procedure adopted to deal with complaints against judges. The Chief Justice of the respective High Court, which is Allahabad High Court in this case, has to address if there is a complaint made against a judge for quote-unquote casting a reflection on the independence and integrity. If the Chief Justice finds merit, the judge could be asked to resign or not being allocated judicial work. If the charges against the judge are grave, this procedure goes all the way up to the Chief Justice of India. Now, here's the catch. A report in Scroll has pointed out that the functioning and entire process of this in-house procedure is opaque. Effectively, the report says if an in-house probe against Yadav begins, the public, that is you and me, would never know how it may conclude. The second is impeachment by Parliament. The India Alliance, which is the opposition alliance, says it is in the process of bringing an impeachment motion against Justice Yadav. Reports say the motion for impeachment is being moved in both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. An MP from Kashmir, Aga Ruwala Mehdi, has initiated the process in the Lok Sabha. An independent MP, Kapil Sibbal, is initiating the process in the Rajya Sabha. Reportedly, the process of collecting opposition signatures is currently underway. In fact, this motion was expected to be tabled today, but so far there is no official word. As per the rules for an impeachment motion to be considered for admission in the Rajya Sabha, the signatures of at least 50 MPs is needed. In the Lok Sabha, this number is 100. The Indian Constitution says a judge can be removed by Parliament on only two grounds. First, proved misbehavior, and second, incapacity. In simple words, for the impeachment process to go through, at least 2/3 of those present and voting MPs in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha must vote in favor of removing the judge. Basically, this process of impeachment requires a broad consensus and not just a handful of MPs. Notably, no judge has been successfully impeached by Parliament in India's history. Impeachment motions have been brought in 7 times in all, and in 2 cases, the judges in question have resigned, with one of them resigning even before impeachment proceedings was set in motion on the floor of the House. So that was the legal aspect. Before we conclude, let's talk about the remarks of Justice Yadav briefly. At a time when questions have been raised by eminent legal minds and civil society on the integrity and independence of the judiciary, the latest controversy does not inspire any confidence at all. For a sitting judge to openly make such comments targeting the minority community doesn't reflect too well on the judiciary, and especially those seeking justice in the courts. Forget the remarks. Just being present at such an event flies in the face of what is expected of a judge, of a sitting judge. The judge is expected to stay away from political matters, let alone make communal remarks that, dare I say, is hate speech. Recently, a Karnataka High Court judge referred to a Muslim-dominated locality as Pakistan. This took place in an open court. Subsequently, the Supreme Court took suo motu cognizance of this, and eventually the judge in question was let off with an apology. In Justice Yadav's case too, the onus really is on the Supreme Court. A mere slap on the wrist or an apology won't be enough in what clearly is a new law for the judiciary, which is also supposed to be the guardian of the Indian Constitution. In fact, before we end this report, listen into what Justice Anjana Prakash had to say. She was a former judge at the Patna High Court. This is what she said, speaking to SW News' Neelu Vyas. Listen in.
If I was the person who had to decide the apology, I would reject it.
So apology, according to you, that apology is not enough. Apology is not enough for a statement.
It's not enough. It's not enough. Because the apology is not going to inspire any faith in the system, you see. This person has said something. Now, it's a very loose kind of a talk. I would think, it is a very, it's not, an educated person's, mind working on this. It's not. It's a totally, what do you say? It's a very, not honorable at all, Does not suit a person of high office to be talking like this.
How is he going to really face the court now? I'm just wondering about that.
How are the others going to face the court? Think about this. How are the litigants going to face the court?
True.
The court is made for the litigants, not for the judges. The judges are not, meant for anything else but to give justice. So they're supposed to work for the litigants. How do you think, the litigants are going to take this?
Are you hopeful that Supreme Court
lowered his esteem? He's lowered his esteem to an extent when he does not deserve to be a judge, I would think.
But ma'am, are you hopeful that Supreme Court could take a stern action? I mean, ultimately, of course, impeachment is the only way out to punish him. And that's the sternest of actions one could look at. But if I'm talking about the ambit of the Supreme Court, what is the strictest punishment that could be meted out to him through the Supreme Court?
The court has done, things like this. The Supreme Court has acted against judges. I remember that one person, from an errant judge from Madras High Court, who was ultimately transferred, I think, to West Bengal, and then he did all kinds of things there, and all judicial work was withdrawn from him. So the Supreme Court has acted, on earlier occasions in such matters which were found objectionable. And you have to remember at the end of it, who's the end user? It's the litigant. The courts are for the litigants. How the litigants going to look at it,
Absolutely. But if the litigant is a Muslim, how is he going to react? Maybe I'm talking about the cases which will come in Uttar Pradesh first, to the Allahabad High Court. What could you see happening in Uttar Pradesh currently post Justice Shekhar Yadav's comments?
What is going to happen even before Shekhar Yadav's case? There have been, the judiciary has been acting very strangely. Has been acting, especially. I was just, listening or reading about this Sambal, that
yes,
mosque thing,
yes.
Mosque dispute, and how quickly the judiciary appointed an inquiry, and how quickly everyone went for a survey, etc. It showed, that the court was complicit with, one of the parties. So you see such dishonesty in judicial matters. That was a judicial order that he had passed. You see such complicity, which is completely against the law. And then you see this, this behavior of this judge who matches with this kind of scheme of things, which is now being accepted as something which is normal.
You can catch the full interview on our channel. That's all we have for this episode. Do comment and let us know your views. Like and share this video. And of course, subscribe to HW News English for more such videos. Thanks for watching.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.